Live to that.
First industrial revolution, working people were made to work for 18 hours out of a day. And most of them, out of sheer fatigue, got injured at work. Some of them, losing their limbs, some even losing their lives. And so the demands of that time, the key demand of that time was that working people should only work for 8 hours. So the length of the working day was determined at that time. That a normal working day should last for 8 hours. And the rationale behind it was that a day is made up of 24 hours. And they divided it by 3 into 3 tranches of 8 hours. So they said the first 8 hours will be for engaging in productive work in order to produce the means to support life, human life. And the second 8 hour would be for resting. So that, because you've worked, for 8 hours, you're now tired, so 8 hours, you rest. That's the second 8 hours. And the last 8 hours, they said that's for living. That's for living. Because it is leisure time. And they were keen to utilize the last 8 hours to live fully as human beings and enjoy themselves. You say they should chill in today's vocabulary. I'm saying this because that was the effect and impact of the first industrial revolution upon the nature of work and how society organized itself. Now, dial forward to 2019, when we speak of the fourth industrial revolution and smart devices. You were informed here that even banks are shutting down their branches because the nature of banking system has changed, because now people do e-banking and stuff like that. So what I want you to think about is, and how to understand the fourth industrial revolution, is that what we're really talking about is the story of tools. This is the human story of tools. Human beings have always found it necessary to fashion tools so that their limitations as human beings can be augmented upon by tools. And that is why today we speak of smart devices. These are tools. These are tools created to make human life better. Not to take away jobs. Of course, it will disrupt the manner in which we used to, do things. But it is actually, essentially, the essence of it is to improve quality of life of human beings, so that you are no longer subjected to the drudgery of labor. Because now, if you're a farmer in the olden days, 5 years ago, if you had a farm, you would literally have to wake up early in the morning, get into your bakkie, and drive around to check that the periphery fence of your farm is still intact, there are no holes, and so on. Today, a farmer doesn't have to do that. They sit at home and using smart devices, the drone goes around to check, and the drone immediately transmits the report in real time. So this is meant to, so the farmer has more leisure time. The farmer now has more time to himself or to herself. And so we must think of what is this farmer going to do with his leisure time? What are we going to do with our leisure time? Now that the smart devices can produce plenty within the shortest possible time. And so we are released now, we are free from the drudgery of having to perform necessary labor, because the smart devices are there to do this. So what do we do with our leisure time? This is the question that I want you to take away with you. And I'm very happy that at this expo, the filmmakers were here with you. The creative artisans were here with you. Artists were here with you. Because if you have more leisure time, it must be filled up with meaningful enjoyment of life. And so the entertainment industry is going to create many jobs of the future. I heard here that there are jobs that we can't imagine today, in the future. But I can assure you that human beings will always be in need of food and all the other things that you want to do when you have enough time in your hands, when you say you are chilling. All of those things will have to be provided for. A few weeks ago, a friend said his son was in the United States of America and checked in a hotel, and room service, there was a little robot. Robert walked in and said, room service, and the boy didn't know what to do, how to relate to this gadget. So what I'm really saying to you is that we must not fear innovation. We must not fear creation of new devices, smart devices. We must not fear that. That this is now going to make life difficult. It is meant to make life easier. That's what it is meant for. And we must, in our education is necessary. Education is necessary and important because it gives you a foundation to understand the world around you, to have the ability to identify problems that may affect you as an individual, or problems that may affect the community you live in, or problems that may affect society as a whole. And if you do find a solution to a social problem, you are in business. So if you are told that there are certain species among the human beings called entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are nothing but those who find a solution to an existing community or societal problem. You do that, you're an entrepreneur. My last point, the last point that I really want to leave you with, is that In nature as well as in society, there is one basic law, and that is the law of motion. This law simply says nothing but nothing is ever static. Nothing.
All right, and so we come out of that Gauteng Youth Expo, where former President Kgalema Motlanthe is giving the youth there some motivation. That's all from the On Point team. Of course, we'll have more for you tomorrow. At the top of the hour will be SA Today. Do take care.